You get elated with one result and disappointed with one result, and teams are going up and down this table very quickly at the moment. This is what happened today. Another win for Arsenal. They beat Crystal Palace by a goal to Liberecha. Eze got that. Matty Cash got the Villa goal as Villa beat Manchester City by a goal to nil. Bournemouth 2, Nottingham Forest 0 at Molineux. Burnley were 2-0 up. Wolves got it back to 2-2 by the break, and then Lyle Foster got the winner late on in the second half to give Scott Parker's side all 3 points, and then confirmation of the result here with Spurs winning 3-0 at Everton. So this is what all of those results do to the table. We'll start at the bottom, and Wolves remain rooted there with that late defeat to Burnley. They're 6 points off safety now. West Ham and Nottingham Forest the other side in the bottom 3. Burnley have that 5-point cushion over Nottingham Forest. Everton in 14th after that defeat this afternoon. And the top of the table, Arsenal have a 4-point lead over Bournemouth, who are second after that win over Nottingham Forest. Spurs win here puts them into third. Manchester City and Manchester United both on 16 points, and outside the top 4, Sunderland holding on to their place there.
Who would have picked that top 4 at the start of the year?
Well, you wouldn't have picked that, would you?
No chance, no.
Would you pick that for the end of the year?
God, I mean, it's great to see though, isn't it?
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant table. Right, following us on Sky Sports main event, we've got the F1 in Mexico. Here's Simon.
Kev, Micky, first of all, Micky, you are absolutely flying at the moment. That was your 5th of the season, those goals here this afternoon.
Yeah, crazy. 2 goals in a game. I never scored 2 goals in one game, so yeah, unbelievable feeling.
Do you know the last time a Tottenham defender scored 2 goals in a game was 12 years ago? So it's been a long time coming.
So that's a long time ago. I didn't know that, to be honest, so that's great to break that again.
Kev, just a word on the performance away from home. This run continues. It takes you up to 3rd now in the Premier League.
Yeah, just really good work we put in today, defensively and offensively. Created a lot of chances, defended really well, and thanks to this man who got 2 early goals.
Thanks to this man, but also your goalkeeper as well, because there was couple of really good reaction saves to keep that clean sheet too.
Yeah, even in the midweek game, he saved us. He gave us a clean sheet away from home as well, and another one today. They've been fantastic, and I'm happy to be a part of this team.
Micky, 4 away wins already this season. There weren't many more. Last season, I think it was 5. What do you put that down to? I know you've got to get that balance right at home, but away from home, what do you put it down to?
Yeah, of course, it's always difficult to play away from home, to be honest, but I think we show some great mentality again today, and every time when we play an away game, in the Premier League, it's going to be really tough, so you need 100% of everyone from the team, and I think today also everyone showed great character. The strikers, the midfielders, the defensive line, some of what you said, Vicario had some great saves, so yeah, top performance from us today.
All-round team performance?
Yeah, fantastic, and of course...
You've beaten me to it!
Yeah, player of the match, I've got to give it to him,
We've got to give you the player of the match award.
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Enjoy your trip home.
Cheers, thank you.
We'll talk a lot more about Micky van der Ven and the goals shortly. But Kevin Danso, first of all, is quite an underrated player for Spurs. People always go on about them missing Romero, but he doesn't often put a foot wrong for them.
No, of course not. And I think you've got to understand that it's a squad game. A lot of people are going to talk about Romero, going to talk about Micky van der Ven, but Danso's done fantastic, and we saw that again tonight. The way he went about his job, on the ball, he's a ball playing centre half, and he wants to defend his goal as well. And keeping a clean sheet away here at Everton was a tough ask, but they've done it fantastically well.
18 clearances, 11 more than any other player. I sound like I'm clever. I got one of the stats guys, but it just shows you how good he was today. I thought he was immense. And when you haven't got your captain, your leader, you need someone that's going to step up. And that partnership looks really good. It didn't look like they missed Romero too much. And he's also got what Thomas Frank will love, as I mentioned before, a really long throw. So set pieces is important to have in the team. I thought his passing's really good, his experience.
But I thought
he was excellent today.
He had quite a tough baptism, really, didn't he, last season? When you think when he came in, they had all their defensive problems. He was sort of trying to guide Archie Gray alongside him. He was a natural centre-half. So He had quite a tough baptism
Really
as
difficult.
well.
I mean, it looks a bit, when you look at the current the current market, £20 million from Lons is not that expensive, and he's quick, he's aggressive, and he's coming in, not always going to start games. It depends if you want to play a back three. Obviously, you've got three really strong centre-backs, but he just adds so much to your team. Looks like a really solid citizen. Yeah,
of course, and I think that's the key to it. When you come into the Premier League, it's a tough ask. Unless you get used to it straight away, it's going to be hard. And whether they're playing in a back three, playing in a back four, you've got to adjust as a centre half as well. So at times it was tough last season, but I think he's stepped up really well. Instead of, like you say, in the place of Romero, and the partnership between him and Micky van der Ven today was fantastic.
Let's look at the first goal then and the set piece, Jamie.
Yeah, they've got Andreas Jorgensen's coming as a set-piece coach. He worked with him at Brentford before, and obviously the detail is so important. This is something that didn't really look like they were ever going to score from set-pieces last year, but Benson Kerr is a really important part to this because he's almost he's playing like he's not too interested. He goes to the front, then you see him go to the back. Micky van der Ven then obviously has that trigger. He takes Jack Grealish out of the way. Then you want Paulina to do a great job on Keane and Dewsbury Hall, and then he gets that ball across Benson Kerr, and then he's all on his own. Just watching Paulina here, he's getting hold of Keane, he's getting hold of Dewsbury Hall, stopping them doing anything, actually.
It's that aggression in both boxes that you want. If you're one of the blockers that, you talk about plenty now, that set pieces are massively important. So, it's one of the things that you've got a job to do as a blocker, and you're trying to stop their main headers, and Michael Keane's one of them. And you see he takes two people out of the way for Bentancur to get around the back post and get the ball back across. I'm not sure he meant it with his shoulder, but you're taking whichever way you can.
Exactly, and I think as well for Micky van der Ven, with a manager coming in, because you always want to get better, always want to improve. And I think he's probably looked at it and thought, you're so strong, he's tall, he's aggressive, wants to win it. Perfect. And Thomas Frank is all about details, set pieces, making sure you're really difficult to beat both boxes, which they've obviously improved. They've got the best defensive record from set pieces against. But looking, every time the ball comes in the box, you always think if they get that first contact, he's going to be the one that's going to land on it. And he was so efficient today and so good in those areas. And obviously the second one, just too strong for Jordan Pickford.
When you look at that first one, and when Jamie highlights the different things, there are so many intricacies to that. Have set pieces in your time, in the last couple of years, let's say, have they got more intricate and more complicated? Because 3 or 4 different things need to happen there for Van der Ven to go on the end of it.
Yeah, of course, you've got the person taking the set piece itself, you want it to be on the money, and then you've got everyone that's, whether you're a blocker, whether you want to get free from your markers in the box, whether you're blocking the goalkeeper. There's so much that goes into it, and if you set the standard by putting the ball on the money, like I said, then that's the starting point about it. But there is so much that comes to it now, and over the years it's become more and more, whether it be a long throw, whether it be corners, whether it be wide free kicks, that everybody needs to know their jobs, and it's always up in the dressing rooms that you take note of before the games, and if everyone's doing their jobs and, like you say, the ball is put perfectly well, you got a great chance from scoring from that.
You're picking players a lot now, Mark, on can they take set pieces? Are they going to be good in both boxes in terms of their height? That's how the game is going. It's developing. It's going that way. And you can see the second one again. Micky van der Ven, this one isn't anything too clever. They do something very similar sort of setup to what Arsenal do so well. Van der Ven just gets in front of Jordan Pickford, slight push, and then he just gets up early, and Jordan then just can't really react. He just bullies him, really. Look, he gets up, he's up above him. Great header from Micky van der Ven's point of view. But these are the details. You talk with players now, and if I throw back to my days, if you did a few set pieces on a Friday morning, there's the corners, who's taking corners today? OK, him. And then maybe you'd do a few set pieces. You never, ever talked about defending a throw-in. That would never come into the equation. But obviously now you have to be able to deal with that. And all the different set pieces you have now, actually, you have to obviously have a level of intelligence to understand what each one means and where you're going to be standing as well. Because if you get it wrong, you're going to let the team down.
Yeah, of course there is. And, you could be a team that goes for it 3-4 times a week.
Is that how many times you'll do it? Yeah,
I think that's what. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away.
Top scorer, Micky van der Ven, 5 goals. After that, 3 goals. For 3 players, They need to find goals from open play, Tottenham, if they want to stay in that position where they are in the league. They can't continue to rely on centre-backs to score you the goals from set pieces to keep you in that position. But the positives are they're in a very good position in the league at the moment. So hopefully they can start embroidering it a little bit, be braver at home, start entertaining a little bit more, start creating a few more chances, and hopefully your strikers can start scoring goals.
Well, on that subject, it's the first time since David Moyes returned to Everton they've conceded 3 goals. But how do Everton find more of a threat going forward?
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, he's tried Beto, he's tried to give him even more opportunities than you'd want to. He's game, he plays the centre-forward role OK, but without being a threat. Barry looks more of a threat in and around the penalty area, but is still learning the Premier League week by week. So it's a tough time for David Moyes and what he chooses to do at the top end of the pitch, because Everton this season have creative players. They've got people who are looking to play through balls, looking to find the striker in key moments, but at the minute it's a work in progress of trying to get the strikers to be on the same page and offer the level of quality that Everton really need at the moment.
Sometimes you can protect strikers and say, you know what, he's not getting the chances. But they put in so many, they cross the ball more than most teams. They put in the ball from left side to right side. They deliver crosses. All right, the quality of the crosses might not be fantastic, but he's too isolated when he's in the box, Beto. And whether it's Barry or not, it's isolated when he's there. I think he's very reluctant to play both of them because of the quality of the two players. They're not good enough. The bottom line is they're not good enough. And they're showing that they're not good enough at the moment. And he's trying to help them out. He's trying to find a solution as best he can, David Moyes. You've got very good players. Dewsbury Hall's great. Jack Grealish, we know. And Njai, for me, is like a little superstar. But they've got no vocal point, no one they can play off, no one they can make runs off. I think they've got a nucleus of a decent enough side. They're solid enough at the back. They've got a very good goalkeeper, albeit today he's made a mistake for the second goal, in my opinion. But I just feel they need a centre-forward. But everyone's looking for the same thing, Steve, so it's difficult to go and find that man. And why would someone of the quality go to Everton rather than somewhere else? Because there's a lot of other teams looking for centre-forwards, including Tottenham, I would suggest.
Okay, well, Solanke's still to come back from injury as far as Spurs are concerned. But you look at Spurs, if Solanke's fit, they've got Kolo Muani as well. They've got Richarlison. I mean, Everton would take one of those easily, wouldn't they, in
even
their current situation?
who's, playing up there at times, coming deep. Yeah, I mean, the jury's still out on Tierno Barry. Just signed in the summer. He's got potential. And not every striker, not every player hits the ground running in the Premier League. So Everton will still be holding out on that. But Everton needs somebody now. They need somebody to be at the top of their game now. And when they look across at Tottenham, we're able to bring Richarlison off the bench, who we used to have, and used to be a superstar for Everton, and seeing that he's on the bench at Spurs, those are frustrating things. And there'd be many Evertonians there wishing he was wearing the blue shirt today.
There'd be a lot of Tottenham fans wishing he was on the blue shirt. I mean, I'm not being rude about Richarlison, but for a lot of money. I mean, if you say at Tottenham, we'll give you the money back for him and you're going to spend it elsewhere, the Tottenham fans, and I'm sure Thomas Frank would say, yes, please, we're going to do that. But you can't do that now. He's a Tottenham player. How are you going to move him on? You can send him
on loan. He actually started the season pretty well under Thomas Frank, Richarlison, didn't he, in the team and scoring goals?
I just think he's looking for something a little bit different than Richarlison. I think he wants a little bit more consistency with him. I think I quite like him because he's a scruffy striker. You don't know he's unpredictable. You don't know what to expect from him. He's got the spectacular. We've seen that with some of the goals. I think he's an Everton player. For me, and not disrespect, I think if Tottenham want to get to the Champions League and want to continue the Champions League spots, I think they've got to look higher than that. Let's face it, he's come on the back of Harry Kane. I mean, it's difficult to fill them shoes. But I just feel like he's looking for a more consistent performer rather than a hit-and-miss performer. And I think Richarlison is that hit-and-miss performer. But at Everton, different kettle of fish. They're taking with open arms, only because Beto and Barry not up to the standard.
In terms of Tottenham's injuries as well, and the players not available at the moment. I mean, there were 10 players out in the week against Monaco, and there they are after 9 games in the top 3.
Yeah.
And not having lost in the Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely. Kulusevski and Maddison will make a huge difference to them. We're talking about home games. Players who want to get on the ball, want to slow it down, want to give them a little bit more control. Them two will be massive. But they're not there at the moment, so someone else has to step up. Is he going to Xabi Simons? Everyone talking about him coming in. They're all quite similar. Kudos has done really well since he's been there. Kolo Muani, Odebert, Tell, quite similar. Bottle of pops, you know, they drop the shoulder, they're exciting at times. But I think Kulusevski and Maddison will make a huge difference. At the moment, they're doing very well, even without them two.
They certainly are. There is João Palhinha at Hill Dickinson Stadium on Merseyside. Here's his manager, Thomas Frank.
Thomas, it goes without saying you must be a very, very happy man tonight.
Yeah. Very happy to be able to go here to Everton, which is a team I think is very good, and they've been very good here at home. A team is always well set up under David Moyes. Extremely happy, and any away match you win in the Premier League 3-0 is super impressive. Extremely happy with overall many things, but especially first half. I think we took control of the ball phase one, also phase two, more passes, controlled the game more. And second half was a little bit more of a dogfight, which it can be in the Premier League. So, yeah, very happy with that overall performance. But also that I said it from the beginning of the season. The season is very young. We are, how can I say, inexperienced Champions League team, but we want to be able to compete in more tournaments. And now, after a difficult away game in Champions League, we're going away again, and we win after Champions League match. That's normally tricky to do that if you're an inexperienced Champions League team. And we also did that after Porto, we beat Leeds away. So there's a lot of positive to take away today.
Yeah, it's a very relevant point, isn't it?